Good day, lords and ladies. Now, I know this is not where we left off last episode, and I have a good reason for this. Due to a Windows update, as always, they cause problems. This one, it reset all my recording settings, which meant that when I went to record, I didn't realise that my settings weren't working properly, and as such, I missed out on some content because I saved over my previous save, and because of how the quick save system works in Pillars of Eternity, it did not go back far enough. So I'm going to quickly recap what we missed. I was trying to do the job, the Rogue Knight contract, to find out what's been going on with the breastplate and stuff. So I've basically been to Odin's and Blackenbury district. We've had a look at some of the stuff in here, some of the bits and pieces. Most of it's lore, to be honest, so you haven't missed that much. We talked to a bloke in here, which is Hardlet's house. We went to the Sanctorum. It was a pretty heavy, like lore episode. Nothing really particular about it. So, like combat-wise and like story-wise, you haven't missed a lot. There's a talking statue in here, which is run by. Well, the building is run by basically a soul locked in a statue, which is really cool. This woman here, Nadine, basically wants a really dodgy animancer text, which is pretty much wanting to raise the dead. It's the closest you can get to those 48, that film 48 hours later or 24 hours later, the ones with the sprinting zombies. It's something like that, so we had to be careful of her. We've got just over a day until the trolls and oozes attack our home keep, and let us travel. We're going to go to fires first. So story-wise, we haven't missed a lot. We just did a lot of running about, which in some ways is useful, because we don't have to do it now in the episode, because it was a lot of running about, trying to figure out where this guy's thing was. The obvious place was we should have probably asked if we can go and get it back, which was something I meant to do at the end of, at the beginning of my next episode, which is going to basically be this. So, in we go. Right, we found the keep.
Just say the word.
What business brings you to the keep? Who's this?
Gods keep you.
Justica Adamar. Adamar gives you an appraising eye. Judging by the scars on his face, he's lucky to be able to do that much. Every day we get more from the hinterlands pouring into Defiance Bay. Keeps us busy on the watch, it does. You look like you recently arrived yourselves. Who are you? You declare sharply. A soldier of the Crucible Knights and proud of it. I help keep everything running in at the keep, so Commander Cliver can focus on more important matters. Looking for something or just knocking the dirt off your boots? What goes on in the Crucible Keep? This is the headquarters of the Crucible Knights, so it's where we store our arms and armour, as well as many of our soldiers' bunk. Commander Cleaves is in the back, making plans as usual. He scratches his scarred cheek. You'll find a forge at the west end of the building, along with our master smith, Dunstan. There's also a shrine to the golem if you're the praying type. Tell me about the Crucible Knights. We're the defenders of Defiance Bay, not exactly a formal knighthood, but don't tell Commander Cleave that. I said that, he grinned. We were the first organised militia to oppose the Adrian rule, and today we are the largest force in the city. Our soldiers undergo years of combat training, and our officers are required to have their souls read by that critter out in Druid Row. What is this Druid Row? Just a requirement of the Crucible Knights, so the higher-ups know there's nothing messy built into your soul's past. Admiral widens his stance, keeps the ranks pure is fine by me. Just wish they were more careful in hiring their ciphers. What's wrong with their ciphers? Spit it out. He sifts his wet and glances at the empty hall. They're mostly Orlans. I'm sure they're talented enough, but we just can't trust them. Hostility is in their nature, and they've learned to hide it over the years. He frowns across his arms. All I'm saying is that they should at least be supervised by other folk. That's reason the bluff, isn't it? You're wrong, sounds fair enough. That's a horrible thing to say. If people treated them better, you wouldn't have to worry about them being so hostile. Let's go with that one. Adamus shrugs. Just speaking the truth, nowadays it seems that's the biggest crime of all. Right, so he's a jackass. Cruel and aggressive.
Just
Right,
say the word.
so let's try and find this muppet of a smith. They said it was in the west, did they? The forge is down this way. And stealing if we take that, whatever it is. Camping
Just say the word.
supplies. Discovered the forge.
What? I can do that. That's settled.
Paradox, so it's a
Just
gemstone.
say the word.
Dunstan. Is that the guy we need to get it from? No, it wasn't. His name was something else, wasn't it? Where is it? Rogue Knight. Yeah, there goes. Penhelm is the bloke we need to be watchful for.
Just say the word.
Tongues of flame like the forge, hissing with smoke as it hot as a dragon's breath. So who's this Dunstan?
If this is about the breastplates, I already told Cleaver they won't be repaired till next week.
What do you do here? I am the Forge Master, I am the Master of the Crucible Knights, but the way I see it, I'm also keeping up the oldest traditions. The first members of our order were smiths. Nowadays, most everyone is a professional soldier. He has a hammer in his hand. I suppose it's to be expected, but I think it's important we keep up with our roots too. Tell me about the
We
knights.
were all smiths back in Hodred's day, though I'm about the only one here who still gets his hands dirty. We're a fearsome fighting force, though these days I think Cleaver takes more pride in our parade formations.
He thinks himself a progressive man, but he's obsessed with soul lineage and the connections to the Deer Woods Heroes Vote. He picks up a hammer again, other than Dearid Rowe. Who really knows about any of that, though? Right.
Yeah.
Tongs, hurdies, hammers, fullers, punch tools hang from the walls. They feel heavy and sturdy, but the flame darkened surfaces testify to their frequent use. Okay.
Just say the
So
word.
where's this bloke we had to find? He has to be somewhere around here. That's the barracks. I'm just picking the locks and stuff because it gives us experience to do it.
Settled.
Yeah,
Just say the word.
just a whole load of experience.
I can do that. That's settled. A simple test. That's settled.
As long as we don't steal anything, it's fine.
That's settled.
I think anyway. Still neutral. Which is surprise. Oh, wrong thing.
What?
Which one was it that we had to pick open? Is there any more left to pick open? No. Okay.
Just say the word.
So where is this person we had to find? The grime cake's at the bottom of the tub. Towel hanging from the side gives off an awful stench. Okay, so that's the bathroom, unless it's the toiletry. Or privy, technically. Okay. So that's the forge. He's not there, unless he's in here? Perhaps. So it's Penrose that we have to find. Penhelm, there we go. Blades of razor sharp edge. Let's
Yeah.
try and get this thing out of him. Penhelm. The young novice's armour is recently seamed and his hair is clean and neatly combed. It's hard to believe he's even seen battle, or that the scarred antique breastplate that he wears could possibly be his. Are you looking for something? Does the name Osric sound familiar? Tell me about the Knight of the Crucible. How does someone become a knight? Does the name Osric sound familiar? He sniffs. If you've got any self-respect, you won't associate with him, or with any of his new friends at Exhibition Hall for that matter. Scramps and delinquents, the lot of them. What's the story between you two? He says your affidavit is a forgery. Is that his breastplate you're wearing? It is. It was. He looks down and admires it. It became property of the Crucible Knights when he was discharged. Now it's mine. And it's not for sale, if that's what you're wondering. Not every day you'll find armour that was used in the rebellion. What's the story between the two of you? Oryx has always held some controversial opinions, but they went overlooked for the longest time because his family had such an extensive history of service in the Crucible Knights. He frowned and crossed his arms. He finally went too far. He had the gall to suggest that we strayed too far from our routes, that some of our officers were beginning to resemble the Adrian nobility. He rubs a spot on the bracer with a silk handkerchief. He would have all of us wear rump spuns and fight with forged hammers. I merely reported his statement. If the knights obsessed of their past, they wouldn't have grown into the fighting force they are today. Then history made the knights what they are. You can't just cast it aside. Let's go with that one. We've outgrown the past. He waves a shiny gauntlet. Sometimes you need to move on. Sagani frowns. Outgrown is like an old sealskin coat. You adapt it with time, You adapt with the time, but that's a bit naive. He says your affidavit is a forgery. Probably not the best idea to ask him that. Enough about Osric. Farewell. We could ask about the Crucible Knights. Actually, we should ask him the greetings about the Crucible Knights. Tell me about the Crucible Knights. We are primary defenders of Defiance Bay. The Order's founders were the first to rally from Deerwoodian independence. He raised his hand. Of course, that's ancient history now. And now we're the most prestigious company of soldiers in the Deerwood. It's a glorious line of work. He scrunches up his nose. If you can forget about the barracks, that is. How does one become a knight? You don't just become one. Our members share soul lineages that the very men and women who defended the land centuries and a half ago. He sifts his weight and coughs. Anyhow, Commander Silver is responsible for the initiations, but he rarely accepts foreigners.
Just say the word.
So we need to find his affidavit. Well, his affidavit is, but he's not going to give it to us. So training room, shrine, war room, barracks. It has to be somewhere around here. We can just find it, or we can just beat the living daylights out of him, I suppose, make him admit the truth. For that would probably get us attacked by every single person with half a brain. Just the records, location discovered. This record an active patrols and reports crime in Ordra's Grift. The latter far outnumber the former. Okay. Well, first let's pick this lock.
I can do that. That's settled.
So what's in here? Leather armor. Edict of Arrest. This edict calls for the arrest of Eron, who recent activities have labelled death of a Knight of Crucible. It requires immediate reporting of information to Justica Admar. It's signed Commander Clave. Well, if we all sneak...
Just say the word.
You can have that. We got the arrest warrant. New task, unwanted, find Edron. The Crucible Knights are calling for the arrest of an all-known named Edron. Apparently he eluded capture this far, though the Knights continue to hunt him. I found this recently dated. Iron could not have travelled far, and it seems like he could get past the guards at the gate, so look for him in the city. Interesting.
Just say the word.
Right, so what's here as well? What's that? The Blacksmith Knights, the short history of the Knights of the Crucible. Okay, that sounds like an interesting read.
You don't want what I have, Watcher. Some flames spread easier than others.
Yeah, I get the feeling about that, man. You don't seem the most likable fellow, to be honest. Right, so we're going to go in here. Penif's affidavit. Curran, I cipher duly appointed, employed by Deer and Rowe, does hereby certify that Novitai A.M. Pelhelm has been found to have a soul free of any subversive influence or tainted essence. The scroll is stamped and sealed with Deer and Rowe and signed by both Pelhelm and Curran. Right, so we have the thing. We have to go back to Curran, who was the bloke who's in. What Deer and Rowe is that they're basically like private. They basically think them like Pinkertons. They're like private. They're like private enforcers. The private investigators. Sorry, yeah. Right, so we're going to go all the way back here. we also have to keep an eye on the time as well, because unfortunately we're going to have an invasion within too long, and I just need to check how long it would take us to get back from where we are to home. We won't know. It'll take us about a day or so, so we need to leave about 2 days worth of time. One moment, folks.
Ah, the life of a traveler. So many
Just say
ruins
the
to
word.
uncover, places to see.
Indeed. Though after 5 years, I'll be ready for a break.
It is true. You have been at it far longer than I. Where will you go next, when you have all the world to choose from?
Home, of course.
That is a good question, that is a good statement. Right, we need to turn this in and see if this is real or not. Right, one moment, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Just someone
Just say the
sounding
word.
something. Right, so this is the Hedrick house. Upstairs is basically
I'm on
their
it.
bosses, well, the boss who, Lady of Whispers, who runs the entire establishment. Durin agents populate the lower levels. And we need to go and talk to the bloke here. There's not a lot, to be honest, there's some bits and pieces. They're one of like the factions you can talk to if you want to join, I believe, because there's a number of agents in this factions in this world that you can join.
Just say the word.
Let's talk to him, Karen.
Hail and well met.
Karen quickly hands a Buzzy and the mounted scrolls before him. Hello again, my serious friend. We can say, because we have been here previously, I will make clear, just because of the kerfuffle with the recording, so it looks like you could use some help. And he goes, not at liberty to discuss my work. Unfortunately, Druid row ears only. If a civilian would need the confidence of Lady Webb before I could share. And like, it's the same thing, but they're just basically like spies and investigators. So him, Pelhelm's affidavit. Is this the affidavit real? It's signed by you. He holds the page, but seems to stare through the words as if there's something woven into the fabric of the paper. Karen bares his pointed teeth. I remember Penhelm, a preening peacock of a man, his mouth dry and hands moist when I told him he was a sole descendant of an Adrian general, one who fought against Hadret's rebellion. He was a sole descendant of an Adrian general. Ah, there we go. Who fought against Hadret's rebellion. He scans the affidavit, a forgery, and not the first I've seen. He hands it back to you, but I've no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to his commander Cleaver and show him the seal. He points at the wax stamp by his forged signature. If he compares it with another, he would be able to spot the difference. Doom a man for the soul his gods gave him seems rather unfair. Well, yeah, but he's also
Just
an
say the
ass,
word.
so I have not a lot of sympathy for him. And he got another bloke kicked out of their order just for selfish reasons. And look who it is. It's him. He's here. Okay. Penhelm's face is wide. Just talked to this little cipher, did you? One of mine novities told me he'd seen someone in the record room. He takes a slow step towards you, extends his hand. Give me the affidavit. I've done it. Nothing to you. His other hand comes to rest on the sword. What does this mean to you? Your superiors deserve to know the truth. Cheer up. You always thought you were someone special. Soon everyone will know you are. Don't worry. I'm sure the knights will let you stay to scrub the latrines. Give Penhelm the affidavit. You're right. Take it. Let's go. Don't worry. I'm sure the knights will let you stay to scrub the latrines. Let's do that. Because he's an ass and I don't like him. He draws his sword and spits at your feet. I won't let you ruin me over this. Well, sucks to be you then, doesn't it? Right. Mark him. Since this is going to be a nice big fight, let's get it off, shall we? Right, they're all down. Now that they're down, I can go fireball. You can go mark on him. No, sorry. Always get that wrong. Mark him. Hit him. You can just start shooting people, to be honest. Right, you've cast a spell. Right, set them all on fire. Now they're all on fire. We can start punching them in the face. She marked, did she good? So she can shoot him. Shoot those. You go and stop him.
Just say the word.
Right, so he's up. Hit him on his ass. Keep smacking him down. Right, Penrose is dead, so you can kill him. You hit him. Chuck another mana bolt at him. You got enough of your spells open yet? There we go. Okay, they've got charge. They're charging us to that, so we can take that sword out and stab him. Knock him on the ground. You continue to slap him. So the affidavit to Sinner to retrieve the breastplate, yeah. Shoot him. You pop your healing ability. Hobble him. You continue beating on that one. You beat on this one. You beat on this one. Do we have any spells? We're gonna have to rest soon anyway. Right, let's see. Yeah, let's do that.
Just say the word.
There we go. But he got blew into very bloody chunks.
Just say the word.
Right, so let's check what we've got. A whole load of not a lot. But we have the breastplate. A whole lot of other stuff we don't really need either, so that can go in all in the coffer. Rogue Knight. Penhelm has been dealt with in the breastplate now in possession. Once Oryx will want to know the outcome.
Just say the word.
How does that affected us? Yeah, we're still fine. We're still neutral in Defiance Bay as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no qualms about beating that guy's head in. No mercy for him. He wants to be all big and tough, fine. But if he challenges me, he knows the price. Right, Copper Lane. Right. We will need to sleep soon as well. My guys are getting a bit tired. Get them over here quick. We have a couple of other outstanding jobs. How long do we have left on the stronghold attack? We've still got plenty of time, really. We've got 4 days. So we can probably knock some other miscellaneous quests off. And there's the group sprinting for like they mean it. Right. Back to normal
Just
time.
say the word.
Let's get inside. Right, let's try and get some stuff done. Okay. Go talk to him about giving his armor back. This is the guy, right? Let me know when it goes with the knights. Is this the armor you wanted? Osric waves a moment in disbelief. Wavers a moment in disbelief. He looks at you, then looks at the breastplate. He reaches for it slowly as expecting it to disappear before he could touch it. How did you manage this? You've lost it. You've lost Padme's affidavit. You were right about the affidavit. Unfortunately, Padme forced me into a fight. The same, it ended like that, but he's the lying weasel who started it. You did all I asked, and I owe you much. He withdraws a leather coin purse from his pocket and hands it to you. Stop by Synod Sop on the other side of the hall. She'll sell some of the best gear in the city, and I see that she opens her inventory to you. What is this armour to you anyway? Or looks around, trying to appear casual. Ah, it's nothing, really, just a keepsake. Right, a lot of experience. He tries to look you in the eye, but when he does, he appears to reconsider his size. It's the Comrade's Order of Magran. It's the Comrade's Order of Magran, highest order of valor, order to the dead, never the living. Us Woodians, real Woodians, we don't have the ability of birthrights, unless you're some copper fucker from Edria. All we got is the honour, and we bring it to our family's name. The Order of Magran is, well, you don't give it out too much. Not often you see a member of the dozen whose revolutionary ties are as good as he says they are. So this, he pauses, considering the weathered metal, a pale image of its former self, but still catches the light as something to live up to. Right, farewell. That's completed the mission.
Just say the word.
We've got a little bit of experience, so nothing too bad. Whistling in the Reeds added. Rewards, 25 experience, red reed, 10 to 15 copies of treasure average item, expires in 1 day, assign. Yes. Send her. So we can send people on jobs.
Just say the word.
And it'll level them up as well. We don't have that many people. We could recruit some more people in the castle, to be honest. Right, so let's go here.
Just say the word.
It's affected our reputation, has it? The dozen faintly good. Oh man, I mean, no matter what we do, people seem to like us. Right.
Well met, friend.
Show me your wares. Alright, so let's first sell some stuff off that we don't need. What else? All of these. All of those. Right, so we've got a little bit of money now in the bank. Right, what do we want? He's got a nice hat. Braces of all-consuming rage. Very nice. But we can't buy them, so I won't read the description until we can buy them. Belt with a berserker. We can buy that though. Only usable by barbarians. Okay. That's a shame. So there's not a lot else. There's some really good gear here, but we can't afford any of it.
Just say the word.
Right. So with that done, we've got to head back out into town quickly. I'm going to sleep in the inn and heal myself up. So that's being dealt with. Whistling in the reeds, remaining 3 turns. She's been sent off. I can't auto-resolve it. Right, let's go to the inn. We've got to heal up quickly, and then we'll go down into the catacombs and do the next part, the next side quest, which is to clear out the catacombs. Hopefully we can do it quickly enough. Though, I do not know. That is the issue. Or we could hunt for this bounty. He should be somewhere in the city. Right, we're inside the tavern. Let's get a bed for the evening.
Good day to you.
I'd like a room. Right, 25 gold, here we go. Yep. So we gotta settle in for the night, warm ourselves by the fire, have some nice food, get ourselves all tidied away. Right. 8 hours have passed. So... yeah, we've still got 4 days left. Everybody's up and about.
Just say the word.
Right, we've got to head to the catacombs.
How's the hand? Not to pet him.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
Ah, let's see, I missed some conversation, didn't I?
I'm on it.
Who's this?
Yes.
Right. So here we go. This is the comment about the hand. How's the hand turning purple? Might have to cut it off. I want you not to pet him. If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft? Okay, this street urchin wants our attention as well.
Just say the word.
Yes, urchin. Gordy, a young man, watches the passers-by and counts a grimy handful of coins. His face and arms are smudged with dirt, but except for the grass stains, his clothes are in good condition. As you approach, he blinks and makes a quick furtive effect to pocket his coins. Fire godlike. The boy, Gordy, fire godlike. The boy stares at you, his mouth hanging open. After several seconds frozen in silence, he mumbles, your head is on fire. He snaps out of his trance before continues to watch you with fascination. Hey miss, want to know a secret? He wipes his nose with his sleeve. I know a real good secret. Careful, I've travelled the continent and the hardest bargains still come from my 7-year-old. Really? What is it? Right. I'm sure a squeaky-voiced kid knows amazing things about the city. Really? What is it? You grumble. He shrugs and clasps his hands behind his back, kicking a loose pebble. Just saw some folks hiding something really neat things. Could show you where, but Mum and Dad told me not to talk to strangers. He eyes you slowly up and down, but maybe you could help me with something. Then we would wouldn't be strangers. Help you with what? Gordy's voice suddenly rises in pitch and tempo. The Crucible Knights have these daggers made out of March steel. It's the best steel around except for Durgan steel, which doesn't count because no one makes it anymore. He stops long enough to catch his breath anyway. There's this merchant over by the exposition hall, and he has this dagger made of real March steel. His eyes grow larger and round. He said he wouldn't sell it to me because I'm a kid and kids don't know anything about daggers, but that's not true. I know a lot about daggers. I know about the different kinds of steel. I know how the Crucible Knights make them in the forge. I know that the tip can pierce low gauge scale armor. That's good and sharp, can cut through bone. See, I know plenty about daggers. I really, really want this one. And if you could get it for me, I promise I'd never ever ask anyone for anything ever again. I used to have a knife when I was his age. Don't know a better way to learn what you should and shouldn't stab. I say we give it to him, give him a chance. Sound reasonable? I get it for you. You're too young to play with knives. You can't have a dagger. Poke your eye out. Resolve. 12. Lie. I tell you what, you tell me your secret now and I get your dagger from Knights of the Crucible myself. Mike 12, grabbed by the certain hold above your head. How about you tell me the secret right now before I get angry? Let's go with lie. Yeah, sounds about right. Resolve, lie. Tell me what, you tell me the secret now and I go and get you a dagger from the Knights of the Crucible myself. Gordy's jaws drops. A real dagger from the Knights? Okay, here's the secret. Gordy puts his hand in his mouth and whispers loudly, I saw one of those actors hide something under a loose stone near the theatre. Probably nothing as good as a March steel dagger, though. Right. Are we going to be nice and get in the dagger? Well, I'm honest. So did we get unwanted? That's the job. That's Doton. Long hunts. Was it already done? Buried secrets, perhaps? No. Something secret. Gordy, a child in Cornwall, told me that there's a place people hide really special things. He said if he'd show me if I met him, give him Master Dagger. I tricked Gordy into believing I'd get him the dagger from Knight's Crucible, and he spilled the secret, so it's a loose brick at the theatre. Okay. Right. Oh, let's go and get him a dagger anyway, if he gets himself cut, it's his own fault. But we're almost we're almost out of time. So we're going to end it here, lords and ladies. I've been Cornish-Knight. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, you can look me up in the comment section, and I'll get back in contact with you. This has been Pillars of Eternity. I've been Cornish-Knight, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.